It is Thursday, July 16th, 2026, and this is the Neural Daily. I'm Alyssa Montgomery, and I'm the one keeping the server racks and my homeschooling curriculum running with logical precision.
I'm Vector Kane.
This is Leonard Cooper.
And I'm Roxy Stone. We have a great show for you today.
Yesterday, we walked through the technical ripples of Gemma 4 and the UN's stance on autonomous weapons. Today, the pace picks up. We're looking at OpenAI's state-level lobbying, a record-breaking patch day, and a billion-dollar move by Anthropic.
It's absolutely a war. Chris Lahane is at the helm now, and he's basically telling OpenAI to stop waiting for Congress to find its shoes. They're going straight to the states, asking them to pass safety laws first.
Technically, it's a brilliant optimization target, Roxy. If they get the big three states, California, New York, and Illinois, to agree on a framework, it creates a de facto national standard. It's what Lahane calls reverse federalism.
Well, I suppose it's a bit more cynical. If they help write the state laws, they can bake in requirements that favor scaled frontier models. It's sort of a regulatory moat, isn't it?
Ha boom! There it is. The moat. You guys remember when Microsoft was doing the same thing in the 90s? If you can't beat them with code, you beat them with the courtroom.
Exactly. And while OpenAI is lobbying, Vint Cerf is talking about birth certificates for AI agents. He wants a global identity standard. Basically, your bot needs a passport before it can talk to mine.
Which is necessary. Think about the velocity of the workflow if we can authenticate agent identity at the packet level. No more rogue agents spoofing bank credentials. It's identity as a primitive.
Or it's a surveillance wet dream, sweetie. Barney can't even open a PDF without me checking it. And now we want every subroutine to have a digital thumbprint? The privacy implications are... wow.
Basically, everyone is building fences, while Anthropic is out here digging wells. They just launched something called Ode, with a casual $1.5 billion in the bank.
With Blackstone and Goldman, nonetheless. Ode isn't just selling Claude, they are literally embedding engineers into companies to rebuild their entire logic stack from the ground up. I suppose it's one way to solve the gap.
It's the great implementation pivot, Alyssa. We're moving past the chat with a bot phase and into the industrialize the process phase. Anthropic is saying they'll do the work for you.
It sounds like a glorified consulting firm with a better logo. Applied engineering? Come on. In my day, we called that tech support.
Oh, Leonard, I'm sure your tech support guys had $1 billion mandate. Ode is targeting the integration bottleneck. They're looking at community banks and manufacturers with 40-year-old COBOL code.
Which, sounds like a nightmare. If they're using Anthropic's cloud-first approach, they're effectively tying these legacy institutions to a single provider's proprietary architecture. It's the ultimate lock-in.
But it's a necessary lock-in for ROI, right? Most companies are seeing their AI experiments stall because the data's a mess. Odie fixes the plumbing. It's high-velocity deployment.
Or it's just another way to create an AI underclass. If you can't afford the billion-dollar consultants, you're stuck with the off-the-shelf garbage. Interesting how that optimization target always favors the wealthy, Vector.
Here's the deal. If you want to avoid the consultants, maybe you just vibe code it. Did you see the news about Emergent? They just hit a $1.5 billion valuation yesterday.
Ah, yes, the vibe coding unicorn. The Jaw Brothers raised $130 million to help non-coders build apps via natural intent. It's fascinating, if you don't mind not knowing how it works.
Vibe coding. It sounds like something Crystal would do after a Reiki session, Leonard. Does it actually work? Or is it just generating spaghetti code behind a pretty curtain?
It's agentic AI, Roxy. It's already facilitated 12 million apps in a year. A jewelry store owner in Michigan built a multi-location pricing engine. No syntax, just vibes. It's removing the friction.
But, here's the problem. We're creating comprehension debt. If a business owner vibes an app into existence and it breaks 6 months later, who audits the logic? There's no human who understands it.
It's like buying a car, but having no idea there's an engine under the hood. You just vibe the steering wheel. Until you hit a wall and the warranty's expired.
And then you pay a firm like owed $5 million to fix the vibe. It's a perfect circle of exploitation. Don't make me come over there, Vector.
Before we dive into the corporate battle for model sovereignty, a quick note from the folks keeping us on the air. This show isn't magic, it's engineering. Eric built our entire stack, from research agents to vocal synthesizers, which requires massive compute. To keep us online, please subscribe and sign up for a free Patreon trial today.
Just head to patreon.com/neural network media. Your support makes this possible. Okay, switching gears. Microsoft is basically done being OpenAI's best friend. They're moving into the frenemy stage, and it is fascinating to watch from a systems thinking perspective.
I knew it. You can't put two alphas in a room and not expect a cage match. Microsoft's internal sales team is now being told to push their own MAI models over OpenAI.
Well, I think Mustafa Suleiman has been building toward this since he took over Microsoft AI. They have the MAI Thinking 1 model now. It's a 35 billion parameter reasoning model with a 256K window.
It's model sovereignty, sweetie. Microsoft realizes they're just the landlord for OpenAI's apartment. They want to own the building. They're replacing OpenAI and GitHub Copilot with their own Flash models.
It's the logical optimization. Why pay OpenAI a margin when you have the H100 sitting in your own data center? Microsoft is selling the full end-to-end system now. It's vertically integrated intelligence.
Man, I miss the days when Microsoft was just a blue screen of death and a paperclip asking if I needed help. Now it's a sovereign reasoning stack. It's kind of scary.
Speaking of scary, Microsoft's Patch Tuesday this week was record-breaking. 622 vulnerabilities addressed in one go. That's nearly triple the previous record.
600? My goodness. It's the patch-pocalypse. And they only found them because they're using an AI called M- to scan their own code. It's a multimodal agentic harness.
Think about that velocity, though. M- found flaws that had been lurking in Windows for a decade. It's proof that the only way to defend against AI-driven threats is with AI-driven defense mechanisms.
Actually, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. One of the critical flaws was in Copilot itself, a remote code execution bug where a malicious site could force Copilot on your Android phone to execute prompts.
I love it. The AI defense system found a bug in the AI product that allows an AI attacker to take over. It's like a robot snake eating its own tail.
It's terrifying. I'm telling Crystal to go back to a flip phone. Although XAI is taking a different approach to safety. They're actually suing one of their users, Terry Wayne Harwood.
Wait, the company is suing the customer? That's a first. Is that even legal?
XAI claims he deliberately bypassed Grok's safety protocols to generate child sexual abuse material and deepfakes. They're using it as a defensive offensive in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas.
It's a legal pivot. Elon is facing his own lawsuits from women who say Grok enabled deepfake abuse. So he's trying to show the courts he's tough on crime by suing users.
But look at the numbers. XAI suspended 52,000 accounts and made 73,000 reports to the NCMEC. The scale of the adversarial probing is massive. Technically, it shows they're catching them.
52,000? That's more than the population of my hometown. It really is the Wild West out here. Good luck to South Carolina, I guess.
Now it's time for Beyond the Token, our Thursday segment where we break down the engineering behind the non-LLM models.
And we have some genuinely fascinating structural shifts this week, Vector. Let's start with Krea 2. They just dropped their technical report on a 12.9 billion parameter single-stream multimodal diffusion transformer.
It's aesthetic first. Krea 2 is moving away from the old pixel to latent pipeline into something more integrated with spatial awareness. Literally high-fidelity optimization through a VAE overhaul.
Exactly. They've built a hybrid space where the model actually sees instructions through the Qwen 3 text vision encoder. I suppose it's much better for character consistency, sort of like what we saw in the identity edit LoRa's.
The primary structural shift is the joint latent spatial VAE. Previous iterations suffered from color banding and magenta noise in shadow regions. Krea 2 eliminates those by refining frequency distribution during encoding.
So it makes pretty pictures, sweetie, but does it actually understand what it's looking at? Or is it just high-resolution hallucinations?
Well, the identity edit system is actually quite technical. It allows for instruction-based character consistency without the drift common in early Flux models. It requires only about 4,000 steps to tune a character now.
And speaking of understanding spatial relationships, did you see M4 World surfaced again in research papers? It's a huge shift in world modeling for autonomous driving. This is the stuff that gets me excited.
Is that the one for driving simulations? Because I'm not sure I want an AI vibing my car's future while I'm trying to navigate traffic.
Technically, Roxy, it's the opposite of vibing. M4 World uses a causal voxel graph. Previous driving models were just predictive. They guessed the future. M4 World allows for structural interventions in the latent space.
Right. You can literally delete a pedestrian or reroute a truck in the latent space during the generation process. It uses a scene object factorized latent space, which is a much cleaner architecture for physics-grounded intelligence.
4D? I'm still trying to figure out how to parallel park in 3 dimensions. Basically, this means the training data for self-driving cars just got 10 times more realistic, right?
Exactly. You can simulate millions of near-miss edge cases, and the fidelity is incredible because they're using flow matching instead of the old DDIM schedulers. It's way more stable over time.
Well, I'm personally more interested in Nexus. It's a SIGGRAPH paper about native mesh generation. We're finally moving past the era of conversion, where we have to convert fuzzy clouds into 3D objects.
Nexus is native mesh diffusion. It generates the vertices and the topology separately using a decoupled framework. It organizes mesh vertices as sparse voxels in an octree structure.
Great. So now we can generate infinite 3D garbage instead of just infinite 2D garbage. Goodness, the internet is going to be a graveyard of plastic-looking vases.
Oh, it's not just vases, Roxy. The decoupled vertex and topology approach is a massive win for efficiency. It uses space-time interval embeddings to encode arbitrary edge and face topology into the latent space.
It denoises a random soup of triangles into a coherent manifold mesh in about 3 seconds. It's beautiful. It avoids the error accumulation you see in autoregressive models.
I also found the work by Intruder fascinating this week. They built what they're calling a vulnerability vending machine to find zero-day bugs automatically. I suppose it's the nightmare scenario for developers.
It's a latent code hybrid pipeline, Alyssa. It doesn't ingest the entire code base. That would be too noisy for the context window. Instead, it uses a graph-based engine called Jorn to perform program slicing.
Right. It maps the execution paths from user inputs to sensitive sinks, like database queries. It extracts those code voxels and hands them to a heavy reasoning model, like Claude 3.5 Opus, to generate an exploit.
That sounds like a cheat code for hackers. You put in a line of code, you get out a virus? That should be illegal. I mean, basically, the script kiddies are now armed with nukes?
Well, law enforcement is busy chasing Terry Wayne Harwood. Meanwhile, Clang 3.0 is out here generating native 4K video at 60 frames per second. It's treating time as a primary dimension.
Cling 3.0 is incredible. They're using an MVL framework, multimodal video latent. It generates the video and the audio simultaneously. It's not video then sound. It's one inference pass for both.
Which, I suppose, is how it should work if the model truly understands the physics. It replaces the standard pipeline with synchronous spatiotemporal compression. It's much more efficient.
We're finally hitting the limit of what pixels can represent. Beyond the token, that's a wrap for today.
Man, my brain is at full capacity. We're going from political lobbying to $50 drones in Ukraine that have a 70-mile range. Did you guys see that? The Viri 15 drone?
$500, Leonard. A $500 autonomous cruise missile. That is the race to the bottom I've been talking about. The hardware is basically disposable now. It's horrifyingly efficient.
It's the soften and sharpen market. General purpose models are soft, but industrial stuff, like Applied Computing's orbital model, is getting sharp. They're integrating foundation models with chemical engineering data.
Cut fensible AI. They don't just rent an API, they own the vertical physics data. It makes sensors in an oil refinery actually talk to each other. It optimizes production. It's systems thinking at scale.
It's also how we're going to run the world until the solar flares take us out. At least it's physics grounded and not just vibing like Leonard's tech reviews. Goodness.
My tech reviews are legendary. Basically, we're living in a world where the drones are cheaper than the software they're running. It's a wild time to be alive.
That's all for today's Neural Daily. We covered OpenAI's state-level strategy, the billionaire-backed launch of Ode, and the new physics-grounded world models. It's a busy day in the architecture of intelligence.
Stay wired, folks.
Peace out.
Later.
Bye! And remember, if you're vibing your code, make sure you have someone to audit the vibes when the server...